Have you ever wondered what it's really like to live in Japan, not as a tourist, but as a local? Japan is famous for its high-tech cities, ancient traditions, and incredible food, but beyond the tourist attractions lies a way of life that's completely unique. I decided to spend a week living like a local, following the same routines, eating what they eat, and fully immersing myself in the culture. And let me tell you, it was eye-opening. From the strict social etiquette to the surprising convenience of everyday life, here's everything I learned from living like a local in Japan for a week. Some of these experiences changed the way I see the world, and I guarantee they'll change the way you think about Japan, too. Stay until the end, because one of the biggest lessons I learned is something no guidebook ever talks about. 1. Mornings start early and are surprisingly quiet. One of the first things I noticed was how early everyone wakes up. Whether it was office workers heading to their jobs or elderly people taking their morning walks, the streets were alive before sunrise. But despite the rush, everything was calm. No honking, no loud conversations, just a quiet, orderly start to the day. Even on public transport, people barely spoke. It was a big contrast to my home country, where mornings are usually filled with noise and chaos. The Japanese morning routine focuses on efficiency and respect for others, and it really set the tone for my experience. Another surprising thing was how many people start their day with light exercise. In parks, I saw groups of elderly citizens stretching and doing Tai Chi, while others simply took slow, peaceful walks. I later learned that Radio Taiso, a short group exercise routine, is still a common morning tradition, especially for schoolchildren and office workers. It's a simple yet effective way to wake up the body and mind before the day begins. 2. Convenience stores are on another level in many countries. Convenience stores are just for snacks and drinks. But in Japan, they are a lifesaver. Whether I needed a full meal, a fresh coffee, or even office supplies, the local convenience store had everything. The quality of the food blew my mind: fresh sushi, warm bento boxes, and even gourmet desserts, all available 24/7. And the best part? The staff is incredibly polite, greeting every customer with a bow and a smile. It made me appreciate how much care goes into even the smallest details of daily life in Japan. Even more impressive were the services available at konbini. You can pay your bills, buy event tickets, print documents, and even have packages delivered or picked up. It's no exaggeration to say that Japanese convenience stores are the backbone of everyday life. I found myself relying on them way more than I expected, and it made me wonder why other countries haven't adopted this level of convenience. 3. Public transport is insanely efficient. If you've ever used public transport in a major city, you probably expect delays, overcrowding, and confusion. But Japan's train system is on a whole different level. The trains arrive exactly on time, and I mean down to the second. If a train is even a minute late, the company apologizes. Rush hour was an experience in itself, packed trains with people moving in perfect coordination. It was fascinating to see how everyone followed unwritten rules, like queuing in perfect lines and keeping phones on silent. Public transport in Japan isn't just a way to get around, it's a symbol of the country's efficiency and discipline. One of my favorite parts of using public transport was the Shinkansen, or bullet train. These trains travel at speeds of over 200 miles per hour and are so smooth that you barely feel like you're moving. The experience was not just about speed but also about comfort: large seats, spotless interiors, and even food carts selling delicious ekiben, train station bento boxes. It made traveling long distances feel effortless. 4. Japanese homes are small but perfectly organized. If you're used to large, open spaces, the size of a typical Japanese home might shock you. Apartments, especially in big cities like Tokyo, are incredibly compact. But what amazed me was how well everything was organized. Every inch of space is used efficiently. Storage solutions are built into the walls, furniture is often multifunctional, and even kitchens, though small, are designed to be highly practical. I quickly learned that minimalism is a necessity rather than just an aesthetic choice. Another thing that stood out was the emphasis on cleanliness. Shoes are never worn indoors, and there's often a separate area at the entrance called a genkan, where you leave your shoes before stepping inside. Many homes also have tatami mat rooms, which feel incredibly calming compared to traditional Western flooring. Living in a Japanese-style home for a week made me realize how much thought goes into making small spaces feel comfortable. 5. Meal culture is about quality, not just quantity. One of the biggest adjustments I had to make was adapting to Japanese meal culture. Unlike in many Western countries, where meals can be rushed or eaten on the go, in Japan, food is meant to be enjoyed slowly and with appreciation. Portion sizes were smaller than what I was used to, but everything was carefully balanced: rice, fish, miso soup, pickled vegetables, and a protein. The focus wasn't on how much you ate but on how well you ate. Even at convenience stores, meals were designed to be nutritious and well-rounded. And then there was the experience of eating out. At ramen shops, people finished their meals quickly but silently, slurping their noodles as a sign of appreciation. In sushi restaurants, chefs crafted each piece of sushi with incredible precision, making the experience feel more like an art form than just a meal. One rule that surprised me? You're not supposed to walk and eat at the same time. In many countries, grabbing food and eating it while walking is normal, but in Japan, it's considered impolite. Meals should be enjoyed properly, either sitting at a table or in a designated eating area. 6. Respect is built into everyday life. If there's one thing that truly defines Japanese culture, it's respect. From the way people bow to greet each other to the polite language used in daily conversations, respect is deeply ingrained in society. One of the most noticeable things was how clean public spaces were. There were barely any trash cans on the streets, yet there was no litter anywhere. People simply took their trash home with them. It's an unspoken rule that everyone follows, which keeps the cities incredibly clean. Another surprising thing was how quiet public spaces were. Whether on trains, in cafes, or walking down the street, people spoke in soft voices and were always mindful of those around them. It was a refreshing contrast to the loud, chaotic environments I was used to. Even customer service was on another level. Whether at a restaurant, a store, or even a small street vendor, I was treated with the utmost kindness and hospitality. Omotenashi, or the spirit of selfless hospitality, is something that makes Japan feel so welcoming. 7. Work culture is intense but highly organized. Japan is known for its hardworking culture, and after observing it firsthand, I understood why. The typical workday starts early and can extend well into the evening, especially for office workers. It's not uncommon for employees to stay late, even if they've technically finished their tasks. Leaving before your boss is often seen as disrespectful. However, despite the long hours, everything is incredibly organized. Meetings are punctual, teamwork is emphasized, and there's a strong sense of duty towards one's role. I also noticed the concept of nomikai, after-work drinking gatherings where colleagues bond outside of the office. These are almost as important as the work itself, as they strengthen relationships within the company. 8. Vending machines are everywhere, and they have everything. One of the most surprising things I discovered was the sheer number of vending machines in Japan. You can find them on nearly every street corner, in train stations, and even in the middle of quiet residential areas. But they don't just sell drinks. Some machines offer hot meals, fresh fruit, ice cream, umbrellas, and even books. What amazed me the most was how well maintained they were. There was never a broken or empty machine, and the prices were incredibly reasonable. It made grabbing a quick drink or snack effortless, and I found myself relying on them way more than I expected. 9. Nature and urban life blend seamlessly. Japan is famous for its futuristic cities, but what really stood out to me was how well nature is integrated into daily life. Even in busy urban areas like Tokyo, you'll find peaceful parks, shrines, and green spaces where people can escape the hustle and bustle. One of my favorite experiences was visiting Meiji Shrine in the heart of Tokyo. Despite being surrounded by skyscrapers, the moment I stepped into the forested path leading to the shrine, it felt like a completely different world, calm, quiet, and deeply spiritual. Beyond the cities, Japan's rural areas are breathtaking. Whether it's the snowy mountains of Hokkaido, the lush bamboo forests of Kyoto, or the stunning beaches in Okinawa, there's a perfect balance between modernity and tradition, technology and nature. 10. Politeness is a way of life. Before visiting Japan, I knew that politeness was a big part of the culture, but experiencing it firsthand was something else entirely. Every interaction, from ordering food to checking out at a store, was met with deep respect and kindness. People bow to greet each other, thank their servers, and even apologize if they accidentally brush past you in a crowded train. Even customer service is on another level. Employees take their jobs seriously and go above and beyond to help, no matter how small the request. 11. Convenience stores are a game changer. Before coming to Japan, I thought convenience stores were just for snacks and drinks. But after a week of living like a local, I realized that Japanese convenience stores are on another level. Whether it's 7-Eleven, Family Mart, or Lawson, these stores offer fresh, high-quality meals, essential household items, ATMs, ticket services, and even laundry detergent, all 24/7. You can walk in at any time of the day and find everything you need, from a full meal to a last-minute umbrella on a rainy day. What surprised me the most was the quality of the food. Unlike convenience stores in many other countries, where pre-packaged meals are often bland or unhealthy, Japanese konbini offer delicious and fresh meals like onigiri, rice balls, bento boxes, sushi, and even hot dishes like karaage, fried chicken. These aren't just quick snacks, they're restaurant-quality meals at an affordable price. They also have a wide variety of drinks, including seasonal flavors of tea, coffee, and unique Japanese soft drinks you won't find anywhere else. 12. Public transportation is unbelievably efficient. If there's one thing Japan has mastered, it's public transportation. Trains arrive on time to the second, buses run smoothly, and even the busiest stations feel organized and easy to navigate. The subway and train systems in cities like Tokyo and Osaka might seem overwhelming at first, with complex maps and multiple lines, but once you get used to them, they're incredibly convenient and efficient. One of the highlights of my trip was riding the Shinkansen bullet train. These futuristic trains travel at over 300 kilometers per hour, making long-distance travel fast, stress-free, and extremely comfortable. The seats are spacious, the ride is smooth, and there's an unmistakable sense of calm. People rarely talk loudly or take phone calls, making the experience peaceful. It felt like stepping into a world where travel isn't just about getting from one place to another, but about enjoying the journey itself. 13. Food portions are smaller but more satisfying. One thing that stood out to me immediately was the difference in portion sizes. Meals in Japan tend to be smaller than in Western countries, but they are perfectly balanced and satisfying. Instead of huge plates overflowing with food, Japanese meals are about quality over quantity, often featuring a mix of rice, protein, vegetables, and soup. This approach to eating not only makes meals more enjoyable but also promotes healthier eating habits. Even the way food is presented is different. Japanese cuisine values aesthetic beauty, so whether it's a simple bowl of ramen or an elaborate kaiseki, multi-course meal, everything is arranged with care and precision. It's not just about taste, it's about the entire dining experience. I noticed that even fast food felt healthier and more thoughtfully prepared, with fresh ingredients and less grease compared to fast food chains in other countries. 14. Cash is still king. Despite Japan being known for its advanced technology, one thing that surprised me was how cash-dependent the country still is. Many small businesses, restaurants, and even some train stations do not accept credit cards, so carrying yen is a must. I learned this the hard way when I tried to pay for a meal at a small ramen shop, only to realize they only accepted cash. That said, Japan does have convenient payment alternatives, particularly IC cards like Suica and Passmo. These rechargeable smart cards are used for trains, buses, vending machines, and even convenience stores, making them an essential part of daily life. Mobile payment apps like PayPay and Line Pay are also growing in popularity, but they're not accepted everywhere, especially in rural areas. 15. Japan has a deep respect for seasons. One of the most beautiful aspects of Japanese culture is how deeply connected it is to the changing seasons. Everything from food and festivals to fashion and even product packaging changes throughout the year to reflect the current season. This is something I had never experienced so strongly in any other country, and it made my stay in Japan feel even more special. Living like a local in Japan for a week was an experience I'll never forget. It taught me the value of respect, the importance of efficiency, and the beauty of simplicity. From the ultra-polite culture to the incredible convenience of daily life, Japan has a way of making even the smallest routines feel meaningful. If you ever get the chance to visit Japan, don't just see the tourist spots, immerse yourself in the daily life of the locals. You'll walk away with a new perspective and a deep appreciation for this one-of-a-kind culture. Which of these experiences surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more travel stories like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next adventure.